Before assembling the machine, please organize all the parts. We have prepared all necessary fasteners, and each step is accompanied by a diagram showing the parts. For machine installation, simply follow the steps below to assemble the machine quickly. Step 1. Connect the low position support weldment between the gantry frame and the main frame using bolts with spring washers and flat washers, and tighten with hexagonal lock nuts. Connect the lateral support weldment between the gantry frame and the main frame using bolts with spring washers and flat washers, and tighten with hexagonal lock nuts. Step 2. Loosen the fixed sleeves on the two slide bars, tilt them at an angle, and remove the pre-assembled counterweight head from inside the gantry frame. Load the counterweight blocks in order from largest to smallest, followed by the counterweight head. Once the counterweight blocks are in place, slide the fixed sleeves onto the slide bars. Align the slide bar and insert the fixed sleeve into the mounting hole at the top of the gantry frame assembly. Ensure the protrusion on the fixed sleeve fits into the groove on the gantry frame. Then rotate to secure the fixed sleeve and lock it using the hexagonal socket set screws. Note: be careful to avoid injuring your feet while placing the counterweight blocks. Insert the counterweight pin assembly. Step 3. Insert the left swing arm into the corresponding hole in the main frame and tighten it at the other end using a flat washer and a cylindrical head hexagon socket bolt, covering the end with a round inner plug. Insert the right swing arm into the corresponding hole in the main frame and tighten it at the other end using a flat washer and a cylindrical head hexagon socket bolt, covering the end with a round inner plug. Install the handle weldment into the corresponding holes on the left and right swing arms, locking it with bolts and extra large washers. Note: the handle weldment should be installed on the inside of both swing arms. All fasteners in this step are already on the product except for the two round inner plugs. Step 4. First, remove the right guard plate. Then, route the steel wire rope assembly 1 through pulley A on the main frame, laterally through pulley B at the bottom of the gantry frame, then upwards through the two pulleys C, D at the top of the gantry frame. After that, route the wire down through the external hexagonal slotted bolt. The external hexagonal slotted bolt should have a hexagonal nut, and finally connect it to the counterweight adjustment rod. Tighten the bolt cap on the other end of the steel wire rope assembly 1 to secure it to the movable pulley. Route steel wire rope assembly 2 through the movable pulley frame, then upwards to connect to the two corresponding circular disc positions on the main frame. Adjust the tension of the steel wire rope and tighten the hexagonal nuts. Finally, reinstall the rear guard plate. Step 5. Fix the rear guard plate and front guard plate to the sides of the gantry frame using half-round head hexagon socket bolts. Tighten the water bottle holder using half-round head hexagon socket bolts with spring washers and flat washers. The fastener should be on the gantry frame. Step 6. Tighten the elbow pads to the left or right swing arm using half-round head hexagon socket bolts, flat washers, and spring washers. Tighten the chest pads to the corresponding positions on the main frame using half-round head hexagon socket bolts, flat washers, and spring washers. First, screw the seat cushion pin assembly into the main frame, and then secure the seat cushion to the corresponding position on the main frame using half-round head hexagon socket bolts, flat washers, and spring washers. Check and tighten all screws. monthly. Check all assembly bolts and retighten them. Shake the product. If it walls, adjust its position or foot pad height. Weekly. Check all rotating parts for smooth movement and no unusual sounds. Ensure the steel wire rope is taut and the counterweight blocks are not suspended in a stationary state. Check the function of the pin assembly and tighten it. Apply silicone oil to the slide bar and bearing rotating parts. Use the product normally and check that all functions are operational daily. Check the steel wire rope, pulleys, counterweight blocks, and other stress parts for wear or damage, and ensure the wire rope is not derailed. Check the product surface for issues, such as paint peeling, leather aging, softening, label peeling, or surface damage, and replace as necessary. Wipe the product surface with pledge. Remove the rear guard plate and right guard plate. Loosen the two hexagonal nuts on the counterweight adjustment rod and remove the slotted screw and steel wire rope. Route the steel wire rope through the pulleys, leading it to the main frame. Loosen the hexagonal nut on the movable pulley frame and remove the steel wire rope. Take a new steel wire rope, secure one end to the movable pulley frame, and route the other end through the pulley to the counterweight adjustment rod. At the counterweight adjustment rod, insert the steel wire rope into the slotted screw. Then use a hexagonal nut to clamp the wire. Reinstall the slotted screw into the counterweight adjustment rod. Adjust the tension of the steel wire rope and tighten the thin hexagonal nut on the slotted screw to secure it to the counterweight adjustment rod. Reinstall the right guard plate and rear guard plate. Pull out the counterweight pin. Lift the counterweight head and insert the counterweight pin into the counterweight block. To suspend the counterweight head, remove the steel wire rope from the turntable on the main frame. Take out a new steel wire rope. Insert one end into the clamping block of any turntable first, and then wrap the other end around the moving pulley before inserting it into the clamping block. On the other side, remove the counterweight pin and lower the counterweight block